Boom shakalaka, why these CME gaps are never getting filled for Bitcoin and why the next 11 months are going to be absolutely mind-melting. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including why the CME gaps will never get filled and why the next 11 months. Buckle your seatbelt. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Come join us on Twitter, the Crypto Love. Push that like button. Now today, fear and greed index at 68. In greed, down from yesterday's 72, but we've been in greed for the past week. The overall market up 1%, Bitcoin at 34,278, Ethereum at 1783, BNB at 225, XRP 55 cents, Solana $32, Cardano 29 cents, Dogecoin 6 cents, and Tron 9 cents. And Bitcoin right now riding this trend line from previous lows back in June, and also if we zoom back out way back here in March. Right now, just continuing to ride that trend line up. Now, the last few times we saw Bitcoin, the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages converge like this. The last time that happened, well, follow this bar pattern right here. We'll make it a little bit less, more opaque so you can see it. It continues up and up and up. Here's the halving right here. And up and up and up. And keep with me. And up and up and up and up. Oh my goodness, this is going really high, huh? Yeah. $211,000 plus per Bitcoin. So things could be very, very big in the near future. Now, November, starting in a couple days right after Halloween, for those people who celebrate, apparently most of the people in the world don't. But November turns out to be the best month for Bitcoin, 35% gains. Based on Bitcoin price right now, that would be roughly a third more. So roughly a $45,000 Bitcoin by the end of November. And then December gets another 10%. So that's another 5,000. So 50,000 by January, if it stays with the averages. You know who's buying right now? Whales. That's right. They've purchased over 30,000 Bitcoin within the last 5 days, worth nearly $1 billion. Not only that, but the CME had its highest ever Bitcoin options volume day ever by double the previous all-time high. So that is absolutely enormous. A lot of interest in Bitcoin right now. But still, some bears, some people who maybe didn't buy at the bottom or the other bottom or the other bottom are saying, hey, well, there's a CME gap at $20,800. I'm just going to wait for it to fill that gap. I'll buy the dip. Well, chances are you're not going to have that opportunity. Why? Well, here's two very good reasons for you. First off, if we take a look at the Bitcoin number of UTXOs in loss, every time there is a spike that breaks the trend line, that spike is the return to lows before the pump, pretty much the last low period. That happened back here in 2015, happened at the COVID bottom in 2020, and guess what? It just happened recently for Bitcoin. The lows are in, chances of them going back down, very unlikely. Also, if we take a look at this, the MVRV times 1.8, well, guess what? That also showed a bottom was in at the most recent lows, meaning that Bitcoin price is unlikely to go back down to those levels. Very similar to the COVID bottom and also the 2016 bottom right here. So the chance that we will fill that gap, unlikely. As a matter of fact, it could just be an unfilled gap like the one at $9,800 or like the one before that at $3,500. Right now, 23% of Bitcoin's supply was traded in this range between $26,000 and $31,000, meaning that this is most likely the price floor before taking off. Again, unlikely to go back down below that to $20,000. Not impossible, but unlikely to break through all of that price action going back down. Right now, Bitcoin is above the 2-year moving average for the first time in over a year since the end of 2021. It was below the 2-year moving average, which made an excellent buying opportunity. Now it is just a very good buying opportunity, while it's still very close to that 2-year moving average right now at $30,000, just below where the price is right now. We have the tightest compression ever monthly on the Bollinger Bands right here. suggesting a massive move. Every time we have tight compression of the Bollinger Bands, massive move to the upside, suggesting we have another one in the works for Bitcoin. The trend volume accumulation score, TVA, is suggesting the beginning of a rising bull market. Now, if you compare this with similarly when we had 4 to 5 bars in a rising bull market, this was just the beginning. So thinking that you missed the opportunity because you didn't buy Bitcoin at $15,000 or $20,000, every evidence suggests it is just the beginning of what's to come, because Bitcoin in its move above $32,000 did break a multi-year long trend line that is absolutely huge for Bitcoin. The last time we had a trend line of this significance break, Bitcoin price 100x'd, which brings us to this right here, why the next 11 months could be absolutely mind-melting for Bitcoin. If we take a look, every 3 to 3.5 years, this signal says the next several months will be explosive for Bitcoin. Now, what is the signal? Well, it's a bottom of the Chinese 10-year, and it's a crossing of the vortex. When these both occur simultaneously, and we just had a crossing of the vortex, guess what? It takes between 4, 7, and 11 months for the peak in Bitcoin. That means that potentially by September of next year, we could have, or sooner, as early as maybe like January, February of this coming year, we could have an absolutely massive blow off top for Bitcoin. So I know I'm hoping for that to happen, and I hope you are too. But that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.